Hello, everybody. Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers. Happy Friday. I can't believe that another week has passed. Sometimes I feel like the week barely starts and it's time to meet again. But it's always fun to meet. Sorry, my phone just kind of sunk a little bit. So I'm just trying to fix it so you have a better view. So hello, happy Friday and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I am going to share a little bit of Valentine's with you. Look at this adorable bundle. Goodness, I'm so close. I'm sorry. If moving the camera makes you dizzy, close your eyes for a minute. I have to fix this. It's just way too close. I'm not going to be able to show you what I have to show you. So I'm not sure what happened here, if this got bumped or what, but my adjustment might just also be wearing out. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. We are going to take a closer look at this beautiful Most Adorned Designer Series paper. This is one of the Sale-A-Bration choices that you have, and it is beautiful. So we'll take a closer look at that. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm adjusting things. All right, so let me make sure that I'm in the right place and that you can hear me and see me. Hi, Joan, welcome and thank you for jumping on today. I think you are going to enjoy the projects. So it looks like you can see me and hear me. That's always great. Making sure that you're in the right place. So there you go. Now you don't have to hear me on my other computer. So Joan is joining us all the way from Washington. It's so far from Ohio. So look at this adorable Sending Love bundle. This bundle is in the January to April mini catalog. It's absolutely adorable. And you can find it on page 11, if I remember correctly. So let's take a peek. Yep, there it is. So you can see how they used it here in the catalog. Oh boy, and now that I look at this, today's projects are kind of similar to that. So I focused on making a project that features the stamps, and then a project that focuses a little more on the dies so that you can see just how absolutely adorable these projects are. And I can see today is going to be one of the days that Facebook keeps kicking me out of my video. I have not found a fix for it. I'm so sorry that it keeps doing that. So periodically during the live today, I am going to have to go back in and reset. It keeps logging me out, telling me my video has ended, yet you guys are still able to see me. So if I miss a comment or a question, please don't hesitate to chime in again and say, hey, I asked a question, because if Facebook kicks me out, I may not see it. So I apologize. So this is what we're going to make together today. Now, just a couple of announcements before we get started. I did want to remind you, if you missed product shares and wanted a product share, all of my packages were safely delivered, which is always a really great thing because I've had times when they weren't. So I've been able to release my backups. So I have January to April mini catalog paper samplers available. I have one set, this is it, one set of annual catalog samplers available. There's 20 in there. I have a ribbon and embellishment share. It's actually ribbon and embellishment plus share because you get these cool boxes and beautiful cards and these awesome paper butterflies. And here's how the ribbon and embellishment share looks inside. You get a partial pack of all the ribbons, all the embellishments, and then they're in this super cute little box that makes it really easy for storage and reference so that you know if you use something up, you can pair it with the catalog to help you find out where you can find more information for ordering more. And then I also have a paper share left. And the paper share is a quarter pack of all the Designer Series papers that were in the mini catalog, plus a gift. My gift to you was this beautiful 3-color glimmer paper. There's a half sheet of 3 different glimmer papers in there. That's beautiful. So if you're interested in a product share and missed out, I do have these backups that I can now make available to you if you would like some. All right. Second thing I wanted to show you. So last week I went live early because a friend of mine and I were going to take a sewing class for the day on Friday. And I thought I would show you what we made. Do you want to see what we made? It's so, so cute. So we made little things that go on a tray for Easter. So look at these adorable little carrots. Aren't they cute? I love to sew. I used to sew a lot, and now I don't sew very much at all anymore, and I would love to sew more. So we made these adorable little carrots. We made this super cute little bunny, and these are small because they're all going to sit on a little tiered tray. This little pillow, isn't that cute? And beautiful flowers. There's this Easter lily, and this, I think it's a magnolia maybe with the little loopy fringe in the center. And this beautiful flower. Isn't that cute? And then look at this little basket. Is this not the cutest? I can't wait to make a big version of this and tuck little goodies in it and share it. Isn't that the most adorable thing ever? So yeah, we had a really, really nice time. We sewed Friday and Saturday, so it was really nice. I left my sewing machine out. Maybe I'll be inspired to make something else before I pack it away again. Thanks, Joan. I thought it was fun to share those. So that's pretty much everything I have for now. And I think it's time to dive in and make these really cute cards. So I know, isn't that basket adorable, Melissa? Hi, welcome, and thanks for jumping on. So I actually made all those items with my embroidery machine. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, you won't be able to make it. But everything was made in the embroidery machine, and then there was just a couple little things that you had to sew with a regular sewing machine. So it was super fun. But isn't this just absolutely adorable? So, so stinking cute. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right. So this card, I wanted to really show how beautiful the stamps are. Hi, Polly, welcome. One of the things I like most about the line art in this bundle, and let me show it to you. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Oh my goodness, I turned to look for it. Is I love how fine the lines are in this line art set. I don't know what it is about them. They're thin and they're just crisp. And I just love the way they stamp. And this set is just darling. And it has a coordinating die set. And there's both open dies to cut out some of the stamped images, but then you also have coordinating dies to add really cute details to your projects, like the grass, the trees, the wood grain post to put on this adorable dimensional. This mailbox is dimensional. I mean, is that not the cutest? You could even tuck tiny little treats in here. And I have an idea. I need to go to the store and get the treat, but I have a treat idea that I'm going to put in here, and I'll get it made and then I'll share it. But this bundle is just absolutely darling. And what I love about it is it's a mailbox. So even though this focuses on the hearts and would be cute for Valentine's Day, it doesn't have to be. You could use this for thinking of you, miss you, sending happy thoughts, sending get well wishes, sending whatever. And even if you needed to pull in sentiments from other sets, you could, and you could use this bundle. And then look at this adorable little bow. Is that not the cutest? So you could make this little package and put the bow on it. Oh my goodness. It is so stinking cute. So this card will focus on the stamps, and then this card has very little stamping and is actually made with the dies. And you can see how much dimension is on this. It's so, so fun and easy. Now the paper, let's talk about the paper. This is probably my favorite Sale-A-Bration paper. And as you know, Sale-A-Bration is a promotion that Stampin' Up! Does in January and February each year. And there's exclusive items that you can earn free when you shop. And there's no limit to how many you can earn. And you can even get multiples. If there's a paper you love, you can just stock up on it. So you get a free item with each $50 that you purchase in product without limit. So who doesn't love that? Now, this Most Adorned Designer Series paper is one of the items that you can earn free with a $50 or more purchase. And what I love about it is it's beautiful. So you can color it. It's white with gold foil on one side. And look at that. Oh my gosh. Is that not the cutest? And on the other side, it has these really, really cute patterns. That's adorable. Isn't that adorable? And so here's this beautiful plaid. And a lot of the gold patterns could be used for multiple occasions, and you could add whatever color you needed. You could use this for St. Patrick's Day and add green accents. You could make birthday out of this and switch up the colors. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? This would make gorgeous wedding cards, anniversary cards. This would be a great guy card. It's just kind of, you add some gray to that, and it becomes just really cool and masculine. And look at how beautiful that is. So this is a really nice paper pack. And the colors are Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, and Gold Metallic. And it also coordinates with the Adorning Hearts bundle, but it goes really well with just about anything. So this is pretty. I wanted to showcase this today on the projects. So let's start by making our stamped project first. So we are going to use several of the stamps in the set, but let me share the paper items you will use first. So I did a lot of pre-die cutting so that you didn't have to watch me die cut too many things. And I also pulled in a couple other products that I'm going to share with you. So for the card base, I used thick basic white, and this is cut 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2, so it's just a standard card base. This is a piece of Designer Series paper from this Most Adorned paper pack. You could really use any of the patterns in here that you wanted. And this is cut to be a full card front. So it's cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It'll cover the front. Then here are the perennial postage dies making another appearance. I used these last week, and after I designed the cards, I thought, maybe I should have used something else. But I thought, they're just so perfect, I can't. So here are the perennial postage dies. This is part of a different bundle called the Perennial Postage Bundle. It comes with sentiments. I used both the dies and the sentiments last night. I'm having a hard time getting back to my page here. Let me get to where I need to be. Sorry, Facebook kicked me off, so I can't see your comments. Here we go. I'm back. All right, so this biggest die is what cuts a full card front layer. And isn't that neat with the detail on there? And it just goes so perfectly with the little mailbox that I thought I can't not use it, even though I used it last week. Now, this is basic black cut with the largest die. And to layer on top, I've cut basic white, and it's cut 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, or whatever size you need to cover your black layer. And then just some scraps of basic white that we'll stamp on. So let's connect some of these layers first, so that I'm always afraid I'm going to do something silly like stamp on the wrong layer or drop ink on it where I don't want it. We've all done that, right? So let's adhere this layer together. And I'm using Tombow liquid. I love this glue. You don't need much of it, but it gives you a little chance to move your layers and get them exactly where you want them. All right. Now we're going to do some stamping on this and then adhere this to the front. So I'm going to put this down. You could use dimensionals here. Normally I would use dimensionals, honestly. But this time I'm just going to put it down with some Tombow. And I'm just centering this. Hopefully you can see this since my camera's really close today. I tried to adjust it, but it's the adjustments are so tight, it's hard to do without making it jiggle too much. So I've put these layers on my card base. I'm going to set that aside. So now let's keep this white layer out and a scrap of basic white and do a little bit of stamping. So for ink colors, I'm going to stamp my images to color in Memento Black, and then I'm going to use Bubble Bath and Real Red for the rest of my stamping. Then I will use a variety of Stampin' Blends to do your coloring, and this could vary. You could use whatever colors you want, but I used Smoky Slate. No, I take that back. I think I grabbed the wrong one. I know I grabbed the wrong one. So I have Smoky Slate. Oh, I do have the light and dark to color the mailbox, and I think I brought in the black. I'm not sure. I think maybe I did a little shadowing. And then for the mailbox, I used Crumb Cake with a little bit of the SU100. I love this SU100. I pair it a lot with lighter browns to help with shadowing and depth in the colored images. Then I used green. I used Parakeet Party for the grass. And then, of course, a little bit of real red to color in the flag on the mailbox. So we are back here on the computer. And then I'm going to use some metallic enamel effects. And I thought it would be really cute to put a copper cap on the post to the mailbox. Isn't that cute? So I'll show you what I did to do that. I pulled out an old brush and I'll show you what I did. All right, so let's get stamping and coloring. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp my mailbox, and I have mounted my mailbox here. I'm just going to add my Memento Black ink. And again, you can see how fine the lines are here. I just love how fine the artwork is for this. And it just stamps so nice. Love that way it stamps. And then on this piece, I'm going to stamp a couple of the letters. So we have this little letter stamp that's super cute, and I'm going to stamp 2 of those to put in the mailbox. Now, the other really cute thing is you could stamp this little bird and have the little bird carrying a letter. Since I'm putting this on a little smaller layer, I didn't really have room to fit that, but it would be so cute to add that detail to your project if you were using a full card front. All right. Now we'll have a little bit of die cutting to do because I'll need to die cut those. So I'm going to use my little mini die cutting machine here and pull out, I'm going to pull out this little letter die here. And let me run this through. So here are the plates. And I like to use 3M Post-it tape to hold dies in place. So, whoops, I just wiggled it. Now, if you have the little mini machine, I've been loving using it on the glass mat because it doesn't slip. It is lightweight compared to the full-size machine by design, so you can't expect it to perform the same way in terms of not moving when you're trying to use it. So I've done a couple of things, and I have no issues using my little mini. I absolutely love it. It works great on this glass mat because it doesn't slide. The other thing that I do if I don't have it on this glass mat is I put a silicone craft sheet underneath it. We have this in the catalog. It keeps it from slipping, and it makes a huge difference in how easy it is to use. So I love this little thing. I keep one on my table. and it's just fun to use. It's quick. All right, so here are my two little letters that I'm going to add to my card front, and we're not going to color those. We're just going to let those as is. So let's start doing a little bit of coloring. I didn't get too carried away with this, but I'll start with my grass, and for the most part, I go from light to dark. So here is my light parakeet party. And I'm just going to use the bullet tip to kind of add a little color up here. Not too much. And then my dark to just kind of come in. And then you can either come back and blend it with your light, or you could use a colorless blender and come in and kind of soften this a little bit. And again, with the blends, you don't want to keep coloring until you have it exactly how you want it. You just want to make the paper wet enough so the color can continue to move until that alcohol that you've put on the paper with your color, with the blend, once it dries, then your color will be set. So now I'm going to take the light smoky slate, and I'm going to color this mailbox, and you can use either end. You can use the brush tip, you can use the bullet end. This is just personal preference. And I'm just following the lines, and again, you don't want to get too close to the line or else it will bleed out of them. When you have a bigger space like this, I like using the brush tip because it does make it go a little faster. And now while this is wet, I'm going to come in with my dark smoky slate and just add a little bit of dark color where I think there would be a shadow. So I think there would be a shadow here inside, maybe a little under here, a little under there, maybe a little here on the door. And then I come back in over it with my light to blend it, okay? And again, you don't need a lot. You just need to keep that paper moist so that this color can move. And that's about all I'm going to do. You can get fancy and make it look super incredible if you wanted to. I'm just going to keep it simple today. So now here's my crumb cake. So I'm going to do my support and post here. I'm going to first color it in light. So I'm laying down my color of light first, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll come in with my dark. I'll add my dark color where I want a little shadow to be. But for the most part, I'm just keeping it pretty simple. So maybe there's some shadow here, little shadow here. And then you could even add a tiny bit more here with this really dark color if you wanted. Then I'll come back in again with my light. Make sure I grab the right one. I've colored before. Have you ever colored and then you go to finish up and blend your color and you grab your dark instead of your light, and then the whole thing you have to kind of make an extra shade darker? I've done that. Now, when you have a little harsher line from a darker color, I'll take the bullet tip and just kind of add a little extra color right along that line. You don't want to add too much there because it could bleed out. You might want to give it just a second to dry a little bit so that it doesn't bleed out of the lines if you get your paper too wet. So now let's color this cute little flag, and you could make this cute little flag whatever color you wanted. I'm going to make it red since I'm kind of doing a Valentine's card. And I'll take my black and do a little dot right here for the connection. All right. So for the most part, here is the mailbox. All right. So now while those blends are drying a little bit, let me show you what I did up here for the post. I thought it would be really cute to add a little copper post up there. So these enamel effects are a really cool thing. You can do so much with them. So I just put a tiny little bit on the block like that. Now they're opaque. So if you color in the whole thing, you're going to lose your lines. If you could squirt it right directly onto the paper if you wanted, but instead I had this old water painter. And so I dried the tip. So there was just the tiniest amount of water in it, because you can thin these out. You could even add water enough to splatter if you wanted. So I just took a tiny little bit with an old brush, because this is paint, and I just painted it on like this so that it made it a thin layer and you didn't lose your artist markings, and it still looked absolutely adorable. I think I just dried the tip of this a little too much, so it's not wanting to blend as easily. But if the more water you add, the easier it's going to blend. And isn't that just, it's just so cute. It's such a fun way to add just little touches to your projects, is just pulling in all these extra products that are for doing little details on your card. Isn't that cute? And then you just rinse that off. I'm just wiping it. I just wiped it with my, here, I'll show you your cloth that comes with this awesome glass mat. You could also just squeeze a little bit right on your glass mat, which is what I also could have done. And then I'm just going to let that dry. Isn't that a nice little detail up there? Hi, Jean, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So hi, Lori, welcome. Thanks for joining. All right, so now we can do our last little bit of stamping. So I'm going to add the word mail to my mailbox. And then on this last scrap I have here, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And the sentiment is really cute. It says, "A little love from me to you." And this is, you could use it as one on here, but I'm going to split it into two. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come in from the side of my ink pad, and I'm just going to ink up half the stamp. Flip it over and make sure that you don't have it where you don't want it. And then I'm just going to stamp that. And then I'm going to clean my stamp really good because I don't want any shadows. And then I'll ink the other half, "A little love." Turn it over, make sure you have it all. See, I have a little bit there. So I'm just going to take my cloth and just wipe that. And just make sure that I don't have a shadow. And then I'll just stamp it. So now I have two little separate spaces. You could also just stamp the whole thing and cut it and then trim it close if you wanted. That would work too. And then the last thing I'm going to do is ink up my stamp that says mail. And I'm going to stamp it right on the mailbox. And it's a tight squeeze, but it fits. There. Isn't that adorable? All right. So we're done with the ink pad, the black ink pad for now. All right. Now let's add our adorable little hearts. So I'm going to pull in these two little heart images from the stamp set, and we'll do our red hearts first. So we'll just have our little hearts coming out of our mailbox. so cute. You could stamp hearts all over this if you wanted. You can add this. Oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. Can you see okay? There we go. That's better. And then this is the bubble bath. And then I'm just going to kind of fill in and add lots of little hearts all around here. All right. And I did get a little on my mat, but that's okay because you can just wipe it right off. All right. So now let's take our sentiment and trim this. So I'll pull in my little trimmer here. And I'm just going to trim this down. And I always like when I make little strip sentiments like this, I always like to give myself a little bit of extra paper to work with in case I don't stamp straight. I don't have to re-stamp it. So I choose to make the paper a little wider and trim it down, but you're welcome to start with a thinner strip and bank on getting it straight. Whatever you prefer works. So now let's assemble the last little bits of this paper. All right. Of this card, I should say. So I'm going to adhere this to the card front, and just in case that little cap isn't quite dry yet, I'll hold this and we'll just center this. So one thing I didn't do today, I did not add any embellishments to these projects. I don't know if you noticed that I didn't show that to you. All right, so now we need a little piece of black twine. So let me unroll some black twine here and tie a bow. I thought the little envelopes and hearts were all that the project needed. It was just so cute. All right, so we're going to put some Tombow on this and add this coming out of our mailbox like this. And then we'll put a little dimensional on the back of the second one, the second letter. Kind of angle it coming out like this. Isn't that cute? Super cute. And then let's put a couple I'll use a couple of mini dimensionals on the sentiments. So this is the first half, and I'm just overlapping it just a little bit with the post and then offsetting. A little love from me to you. I'm going to trim. This is a little uneven on this side. I left it a little longer than the other side, so let's just trim that. Little love from me to you. And then I'll put a little bow. The bow can be put in any place really that you want it. I'm just going to put it there. And then let me trim. I left it kind of big. Let me shrink it down a little bit. And I'll trim these. There we go. And there's your first project. What do you think? You like that one? Thanks, Polly. Isn't that mailbox so cute? I know. And I love the little letters. Love the letters. And you could make the little cap on the post any color you wanted. We have these enamel effects. They come in 6 different colors. There's a set of metallics that has, oh, it has the copper, silver, and maybe, I forget the third color, black. I think it's black. And then there's one that has red, white, and I forget the other color. Let's look. Let's find them in here so I can show you what page they're on. They're easy to miss. And you can squeeze these onto like the silicone mat and set them aside to dry and have little embellishments to add. Oh, look at, have little embellishments to add. So here they are. So they're called Enamel Effects. The metal set has copper, gold, and silver. The pearl set has black, red, and white. So they're right here. They're $15 for a set of 3. Page 137. 137. All right. So if you haven't played with those, that would be a fun thing to add to your next order and just allow yourself to sit and play. And you can also take these enamel effects and you can do little dots like this. And then you just let these dry. And then once they dry, they become like little, once they dry, they become like little embellishments, and you can add them to your project. Isn't that fun? It's so fun. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry so I don't put something in it. All right. So project 2. So project 2, I really tried to focus on the adorable dies that are in this project set. So the die set is really quite large. There's 15 different dies in here. You have the grass, you have a little bush, you have a couple, let's see, you have one circle and the letter die, so some open dies, you have hearts. The little envelope is super, super cute, and I love the mailbox. So let's take a little closer look at how we're going to make this project. So this project, I used a Flirty Flamingo card base, and of course you could use any color you wanted, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, so it's a standard size card base. And I scored it at 4.25. Then for the background layer, once again, this project, I just cut it, but then I thought, oh, it would be so cute with this. So once again, I went in and cut the largest die from the Perennial Postage die set. This is also a big set. It has, how many? It has 12. So there's 12 different rectangles and squares in here, plus this word label that just has the decorative ends and is flat along the top. So I use that for this large layer. So let's put this on the back. I'll put it on with some, you can use Tombow or Stamp and Seal, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to layer this here in the center of the card. It's just so cute. And then I pre-die cut several pieces beforehand. So I cut out the mailbox die with basic black, and it puts the score lines on here so that you can just fold and adhere your parts together. I die cut a post from Pecan Pie cardstock and the little flag from the Designer Series paper. So this background is this layer here. And then for the flag, I use this really cool kind of water colorish piece. Do that little flag. Then from basic white, I cut out 3 of the envelopes using this envelope die. This envelope die cuts out and puts the score lines in so that you can fold it up and make little letters. And then I will have a scrap of white for stamping the sentiment and a scrap of real red to die cut some hearts to have coming out of one of the envelopes. So let's put the envelopes together. The score lines are here. All you've got to do is fold them. And then once I fold them, I just kind of burnish those 3 sides. And then I add some Stamp and Seal I'll add some Stampin' Seal to the flap. And then close it, and it kind of holds all those pieces together, okay? So I'm going to put 2 of these little envelopes together. So have any of you created with this bundle yet? Did you notice it in the catalog? I know there's a little delay, so I'll wait. So a little tip when you're putting this together, if you notice, one of the ends has a cropped point and one does not. The cropped point goes inside, so it lines up with the sides. When you fold the sides in, then it makes this nice opening, and then you flip your flap down. So again, a little Stampin' Seal to hold that closed, and these are going to be coming out of our mailbox. So let's fold our mailbox. So there's score lines here. And I'm just going to take this and give it a little curl with my bone folder. That's the front of the mailbox. And then when you adhere it together, see how you have, it might be too dark. Oh, there you go. You see how it's kind of open? And then you can fold this. You can have it closed, or you can leave it open and have letters coming out. Isn't that adorable? It's so sweet. Now, before I glue this closed, I'm going to put my little flag on. And to put the flag on, I'm going to use the round and square brads. These are out of the annual catalog. They come in black and white, and they're just like they say, round and black. So maybe I'll use white this time. I used black on the other one. I'm going to pull out a little white brad. These are really easy to put on. I just put it through the hole that die cuts into that, and then into the hole that die cuts into the mailbox, and squish it down. And then now you have the little flag that you can put up or down. So, so cute. All right, so let's add a little bit of Tombow here and seal our mailbox closed. So did any of you notice this bundle, or have you created with it before? I'd love to know if you've created with this already. So now I'm going to add a little bit of Stampin' Seal to the back of this, and I'm going to put it on my card front. And then I'm going to add my mailbox. I'm just going to take this little post and slide it up underneath there. I didn't put the adhesive right along the bottom edge to make sure that I could slide my post. And then if you flip it over, you can trim off this little excess piece here. And isn't this just darling? Look at, you can put the little flag up. Mail. I think it's so cute. All right, so now let's take these envelopes and tuck them. They're going to be kind of coming out of our mailbox like this. Okay, but before I glue them in place, I'm going to put this one together, the third one. Now this one I'm putting the adhesive inside because I'm not going to close the envelope. I'm going to leave it open, and I'm going to adhere it in place over here so that I have the little hearts coming out of it. So I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back, and you can tuck it wherever you want. I probably should have put my mailbox. Let's see if I can move my mailbox up a little bit. It might be too stuck. I can kind of slide it up a little bit and set that on top of the post. It does give me a little bit more room. There we go. All right, so there's the basis of our card front. So now I'm going to die cut some hearts. So let's pull, there's 6, you can die cut 6 at a time. So this one has 4 hearts and it coordinates with that stamp that stamps all the hearts. Oh, there's 2 of those. I didn't even notice that. Oh, you can cut so many hearts. And then there's another big one. Oh, let's just cut a whole bunch. So cute. Look at that. So you can cut 10 hearts at once. 10 little mini hearts. That's awesome. So I'm just going to run this through my mini stamp and cut and emboss machine and cut our hearts. All right. So it doesn't look like any of you have created with this already. Oh, it's so cute. It's such a good bundle. All right, so now I just want a little envelope of hearts. And I'm going to have these little hearts coming out of the envelope. So I'm just going to put 3 little dots. For some reason, I have a gooped up tip on my Tombow. I'm just going to put 3 little dots here, a couple dots here. Maybe I can even put, I'm going to adhere those down. Maybe I can even put some elsewhere. But let's start by, whoops, I kind of pushed that out into the, so we can just drop these down in place. I'll slide that kind of in the envelope a little bit. Oops. It doesn't want to get in there. There we go. Just needed a little coaxing. There we go. And you could even use your little take your pick tool to drop these in place. I want this little one here. So very cute. And we're going to add a little wink of Stella to those to help them pop off the red paper. Now, if you wanted, you could add more hearts. I did cut extra, so let's see where we are once we're done. We might want to add more. So let's glue these envelopes in place. So I'm just going to give them a little burnish so that they stay. So this one is going to slide inside, kind of be falling out a little bit. And this one, I'm going to put a dimensional just on one side, the side that's going to stick out of the mailbox. And we'll put a little adhesive on the part that's going to be inside. So kind of slide it in how you want it and then stick it down in place. Okay. So now I'm going to take a little piece of my white twine and tie a bow, and I'm going to put it right on the base of the flag on my mailbox. So just make a nice even bow. And I'll put a little dot of Tombow right on top of this brad. Hi, Nancy. Welcome and thanks for joining. All right, a little dot there. And then here's my wink of Stella. Hi, Kathy. Welcome and thanks for joining. It's nice to have you stop in. I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring, add a little shimmer here. You could also add some splatters if you wanted. But I didn't want the hearts to get lost in the background. So, all right. So now let's create our sentiment. So I'm going to use my basic, just a black ink. So here's my tuxedo black memento. I'm just going to stamp that. And then I'm just going to create my own sentiment because there wasn't just a simple love you in this stamp set, and I wanted it to just say love you. So I'm just going to cut that out. But you could use any of the sentiments. There's a couple of really cute circle sentiments in this set that would be adorable. So just trimming that down with my scissors. And then once it's trimmed down, I'll add a little dimensional to the back of these. So I'm just going to cut a strip off of the back of the dimensionals. Those are good strips for adding. This one might be kind of small. Let's see. Yep, let's trim that. And then you can just kind of tuck this. You could either put it up on the mailbox or wherever you wanted. There's no right or wrong here. And I'm just going to center the U underneath the love. And there is our second card. What do you think? Do you like the postage layer or the regular cut layer better? Which one do you like better? And then you can put your flag down or you could put it up. Your choice. You could adhere it in place too if you wanted. You could put a dimensional behind there. But it's so, so cute. Oh, thank you. Oh, Polly likes this one using the dies. All right, so let's bring in the other card. So here's the other card. So this one focused on the stamps and this one focused on the dies. So here you can see both cards. Isn't that mailbox adorable? Both the stamped one and the die cut one. And it's, even though they're both mailboxes, you really get a different look. This one is bigger and you could tuck little treats in there, tiny little treats. I have an idea. I need to go to the store and get my little goodie that last night when I was creating the cards, I thought, oh, it would be so cute to put this treat in there. So I'll have to go get some and then I'll share it with you. So again, this is the Sending Love Bundle. Here's the Sending Love Bundle. It's on page 11 of the January to April mini catalog. When you purchase this, you will be able to choose a celebration item. And I used the beautiful Most Adorned Designer Series paper. I'm just double checking before I misspeak. I just want to make sure I don't misspeak. Yes. If you choose to get this Sending Love Bundle, you'll be able to choose a celebration item. It could be any of the $50 celebration level items that you would like. And I use the Most Adorned Designer Series paper. Isn't it cute? So I hope you enjoyed today's cards. It's always fun spending some time with you on Friday afternoons. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It is actually going to be pretty nice here in Northwest Ohio. It was beautiful yesterday. I went for a walk without a jacket. I just had a sweater on. It was really nice. And we have some hockey. We have lots of hockey this weekend, which is nothing new for us. And I also have some work to do this weekend. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget, if you missed out on product shares, I do have a couple left that were my backups that I didn't need because all the packages made it. So I would love to share them with you. So have a fabulous weekend. And next week, I will look forward to seeing you on Friday. Bye, everyone.